All right, we are ready to begin. Once again, I am Ashen Prime. We are going to be watching Chained Echoes Any % No CW with a fresh file from moonblazewolf. Let's throw it over there. moonblazewolf, take it away.
Hey, everybody. My name is moonblazewolf. I use he, they pronouns. You can call me Blaze. And I'm really excited to show off Chained Echoes for you today. This is an indie RPG that came out in December of 2022. So I know for a lot of people, it's maybe still on your backlog, or maybe you played it but haven't finished it. I can assure you this run is not going to spoil anything. We're going to play the game very glitchy and completely out of order. Although not quite as glitchy as the bonus any % run that you all donated for, so thank you very much for that. We'll get started here in just a second, but I want to give my commentators a chance to introduce themselves. Let's go ahead and start with Enker.
Yeah, I'm Enker, and I am actually on remote, so you won't see me here on your screen. But I did a majority of the glitch hunting and skips that you found here.
Indeed. And then I've got over here.
Hey, I'm FerricFox. I'm going to be doing, I don't know, color commentary. I also do a glitchless run of this, so I have a good understanding of the game itself and a lot of the mechanics.
And over here.
Hi, I'm FlannelKat. I've played about half this game casually, and I'm looking forward to playing the rest of it. I've done commentary on this run before, and it's really cool.
It is great, and I just have to give a quick plug. The glitchless run of this RPG is also fantastic, so I'm going to do a lot of glitchy stuff today, but if you are not a big fan of glitches and you just want to do like a cool glitchless run, definitely keep that in mind as well. This run has a fantastic glitchless category, so we are going to get started here in just a second, but I'm showing off my option screen here. We're basically going to be playing on the lowest difficulty for most of the run. There will be a second a little bit later on where we do turn that up, but that is intentional. I also just want to mention a tech. There's no more music because the music doesn't loop on the title screen. But I think we are ready to go. But I'm going to wait for a thumbs up from the tech folks just to make sure. Okay, just wanted to make sure we were ready to go. So let's go ahead and get a countdown started here from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Chained Echoes. This is our main character, Glenn, and we start out the game as kind of like a mercenary, or essentially kind of like a sky pirate. And we are on a mission to, we're going to kind of be going behind enemy lines here to retrieve an item called the Opus Stone, which we don't know too much about other than it's basically like a weapon of, think of it like an atomic bomb. So we're trying to get that away from the opposing side, but we're kind of like freelancers. So, and we're doing some Sky Armor commentary here. Ferric, do you want to just kind of briefly talk about the Sky Armor commentary?
Yeah. So basically, there's
combat.
There's two different elements to this game. There's your characters when they're not in armor like this, and we'll be doing some combat that way. And then there's sort of a separate realm where you get these kind of mech-based flying sky armors that have different sorts of abilities. So. In the glitchless run, you don't get those until deep into the game. I suspect we'll be getting those a little bit sooner this time.
Yeah, and we're just kind of doing some basic combat here. This game does have turn-based combat all throughout, including the Sky Armor battles, which is really cool. You can kind of see like the turn order up there in the corner, and everybody's portraits sort of go in order. There's special abilities, there's ability points and whatnot. So, but yeah. We are just going to be kind of running through this prologue section here. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary yet. This long bridge is a good shout out to this kind of, or a good moment to shout out the basically one person who created this game, Matthias Linda. It's kind of a passion project of his, and it's honestly one of the best RPGs I have played in a very, very long time, in addition to just speedrunning it. And so if you haven't gotten a chance to play this game, I definitely recommend it. It's on Steam, it's on all consoles at the moment, and I believe there's also a copy that you can win via donation right now that was donated by someone, so thank you for that.
Yeah, and this game, you know, it looks like it could have been released about 20, 30 years ago, but it was just released last year.
It is very much a love letter to a lot of the SNES and PlayStation 1 RPGs. Particularly, you're going to see a lot of Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy XII, and Xenogears, I would say. This is our first battle with the overdrive meter. We'll get that again here in the next one. So, Ferric, maybe do you want to talk about the overdrive mechanic of this game?
So next time we're in combat, if instead of looking in the upper right, which is the initiative, the upper left, you'll see a yellow bar, a green bar, and a red bar. That's the overdrive meter. Basically, when you do attacks and take damage, the overdrive is going to move. Yellow, everything's going to be set at 1x. You want to get into green because you're going to deal more damage. It's going to cost you less tactical points to do your special abilities. And the bosses are actually going to deal less damage to you. Now, if you hit the red, then that's the danger zone. You will actually deal normal damage, but bosses will deal additional damage to you. So definitely managing your overdrive, maybe not so much in the glitch category, but in the glitchless category is pretty critical.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Okay, so we're pretty much done playing the game normally now. So we're going to do our first out-of-bounds sequence here right after I kind of get out of town. And this is kind of the one part of the run where I'm going to need some quiet time because I have to do this first out-of-bounds completely blind on a black screen. But after that, I'll be bringing Enker in to kind of explain what the heck is going on. So I'm going to do my little bit of setup here, and then I'm going to do this first out-of-bounds. All right, so we're gonna intentionally lose the battle with this pig ear right here. And he did that very optimally, and I need to listen for my steps here, so I'm gonna be very quiet. Ooh, perfect. All right, so that was the scariest part of the run for me.
I even got scared listening to that. Sorry, I wasn't even doing it.
If anybody saw my run at GDQ, I did not do that right, and it was a major, major panic moment.
Yes.
So anyway, I just did
Well
a
done.
major sequence break, and Enker, can you just kind of explain what the heck is going on right now?
Yeah, so we'll see a couple different types of skips. That first one was just dying, opening the menu, and then you're able to run, but you're not able to interact with anything besides load zones. So that's why the save and load was there. And now we're going to get beat up by Attack the Yak here. He's going to be very important. And now you'll be able to open the menu, close it, open the map, and teleport to a crystal. And now you're out of bounds and you can see what's going on, and you can also interact with chests and resources.
Yep, so at this point, I basically will not be colliding with most of the map itself. I can still get into an encounters, and that is very, very bad. The particular state that I'm in, I need to maintain that because if I can't, I have to go back to my good friend Tack the Yak and have him gracefully knock me back out of bounds again. But when I'm in this out of bounds state, I can pretty much go anywhere I want on the map. But I do not want to interact with enemies and a couple other things like specific story triggers and things like that because they will knock me back into bounds. So I have to be very, very careful with my movement right now. But thankfully, this game has a kind of Chrono Trigger-like combat system where there's no random encounters, there's map-based encounters. So as long as you know where to run, you will not have too much trouble. Now, I'm picking up a lot of stuff as I'm running through these maps. This is all planned and very deliberate. The orange orbs that you see on the screen, those are collectibles, and I need to get a certain amount of those for a very specific reward later on that I need for some resources. And then there's some chests and other things that I'm opening for supplies and other things I need to finish the run. So, but we're about 6 minutes in, and I'm kind of tired of running, so I thought I'd just go ahead and get myself an airship. This is the part of the run. This run is broken up into a couple different parts. The first part is sort of getting out of bounds. The second part is kind of gathering my movement tech. So that's sort of what I'm doing right now. I've got the airship, and now I'm going to be unlocking the sky armor for actual movement on the overworld map. And that is going to give me a bunch of different speed up options in terms of movement. And once I get that, I pretty much am going to be able to go wherever I want at the fastest possible rate. And at that point, the run basically just becomes an open world game, and all we are concerned with doing is gathering the things that we need to beat the game and getting to the final boss as quickly as possible. So this run is very much going to be played in a non-linear fashion, completely out of order. if anybody has finished the game, it is going to make absolutely no sense to you. Or even if you have played the game, it's not going to make any sense to you. So, and that's good, because hopefully no spoilers. I'm going to do a different glitch here involving the Sky Armor to get some additional speed. Enker, I'm going to bring you back in to kind of talk about what's going on here.
Yeah, so if you die in a place where you can either do the fight on foot or in Sky Armor, and then you die and open the menu and close it and get back control, you can go up into the Sky Armor, have it fly, and then select on foot. It will do this, where you have Sky Armor speed, a giant shadow, and you're also just on foot.
Yep. And TAC is here, thankfully, to make so much of this happen in the run.
TAC really is like the co-op partner of this run for most of it, too.
Yeah. Yeah, TAC is fantastic. And we would never do anything to hurt TAC or betray TAC in any way at all.
That will never happen.
No.
He's
Not
so
on my
strong,
watch.
you couldn't possibly kill him.
I know.
I also do want to shout out the little platypus on the loading screens, which you will not see unless you are skipping cutscenes in this game. So watching this run specifically gets you that little VIP treatment of seeing the platypus.
Yes, and we do have a saying in the speedrun community for this game, because the platypus can kind of giveth and taketh away. So you have to respect the platypus when you're speedrunning Chained Echoes, because the cutscenes have to be skipped in a very particular way in this game. And there are certain ones that are very easy to skip. There are certain ones that maybe the timing is a little more fine-tuned. And if you don't respect the platypus, he will mess up your day. So respect the platypus, kids. What I'm doing right now is I'm finishing an endgame side quest without actually doing the fight. By running into a trigger that just sort of gives me the item that you get at the end. And that is the Rusty Bow, which is going to turn into Rob's ultimate weapon a little bit later on. And I'm going to open my second of these gold chests, which is for what is called a Soul of Farness. That is the reward item that you need to actually craft the ultimate weapons in this game. So there's a lot going on, like I said, but mainly what I'm doing is gathering resources, equipment, and we'll talk a little bit more about the abilities portion of that as well. But at this point, I have to finish some mandatory tutorials. Otherwise, the game will get very, very mad at me. So Ashen, if you want to go ahead and read some donations, this would be a great time.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and start with a $5 donation from Sonny Wrath, who says, "Let's go, Blaze. Glad to see you running Chained Echoes after putting so much work into the game. May the run be fantastic, even though I know it will be. Miss y'all, and can't wait to see everyone next year."
Miss you too, Sonny.
We also have $10 from Orion Skydragon, who says, "Hey, Blaze and Company, sending a little love and support your way. Good luck on the run." We also have $100 from Amazing Toaster.
Hey.
He says, "Runner, I don't mean to alarm you, but it appears your game is over."
Yeah. It still counts, trust me.
I believe our game will be over for pretty much this entire run, if not literally the entire run.
Yeah. You get used to it. Like, I honestly don't even see that text anymore. I've played this game in this state that much.
It's almost like an existential question. Like, if the game is over, are you really actually playing the game?
You can always retry.
Yes, yes.
That was a thing that kind of took me back a little bit when this game first came out. And Enker, maybe this would be kind of a good time to talk about how you found, or like just kind of your process that you found so many of these glitches, because these glitches were they're actually not in the game right now. I'm playing on an earlier patch because they were all taken out, which is fine. You know, it's easy enough to down patch games. But they were out for probably about the first month that this game was released, and that was pretty much like the time when the speedrun was developed for this game, I would say.
A lot of the stuff was just me fidgeting around with my hands in between cutscenes and stuff. Like when I died, I just started pressing random buttons, and all of a sudden I heard stuff going on in the background, and then played around with it. It's usually a bunch of trial and error and fidgety fingers.
We call it, I thought it was called glitch hunting, but if you want to, that's a much more modest way of saying glitch hunting, I think. But yeah.
Yes.
So it was a really fun process. Truthfully, I will say I've never been a part of a speedrun kind of like from day one like that. And it was really cool because Enker found all the glitches, and then I kind of got to figure out how to put a good route together based on that. So we do have a glitch. The one glitch that you did not find, I'm about to do right now, which is the infinite money glitch. This was actually found by a casual player. And all I'm going to do, you noticed before I got into the shop menu that I went ahead and equipped one of these RAM items on the Sky Armor. And when that is equipped, the game does not want you to be able to sell an equipped RAM for whatever reason. So it just kind of lets you sell stuff over and over again. So I'm just going to get all the money I need to finish the run. I'm going to buy this rusty greatsword because I think it would look great on my mantle. And then we are done here. And we are done with money for the rest of the run.
From a tiny rat.
Yes, thank you, Tiny Rat. Now this is a really interesting part. This is kind of like the gate to the final area of the game, and you're not supposed to be able to go through there. It doesn't open until you hit a particular part of the story in the game casually. But because I'm out of bounds, I can kind of just run through it. So. And I'm going to give you all a little treat, a little dialogue from some of the characters that we are not going to see in this run while I'm just kind of running through this endgame area here collecting stuff. So some good banter here. And also Cress. Cress is the good boy of the game.
Hey, Cress.
So, but I need crafting materials. This is basically like the endgame area before you go to the final boss rush. So I'm pretty much just going to be running through here. Picking up stuff that I need to finish the run, whether it's crafting materials, whether it's gear, some sky armor. I got a sky armor weapon, I got sky armor, and then I'm also going to continue to pick up collectibles because I can unlock something for the reward board that will give me more skill points, which I will need a certain number of as well, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more. But I got the pop-up in the corner there, +5 out of 5, so I'm good that way. And I think just as a special treat, because everybody's enjoying the run, I'm going to show you a big, cool dragon over here that's sleeping. So.
Yeah, your players encourage you not to wake him up, and that's generally a good idea when it comes to dragons.
Thankfully, you cannot wake him up unless you go on a very, very long, involved side quest. So,
yes.
But he's very cool.
Very much end game stuff.
That is a little bit of a scary get, that chest right there, but that is an ether killer crystal, which will give me plus 10% damage to ethereal enemies, which the final boss is an ethereal enemy. So, hey, that's pretty convenient. Mm-hmm. And yeah, now we're just running across a black screen. I'm actually avoiding a boss fight right here. And then this is kind of like your final resting area before the actual final boss rush. I had to read a book on that table because that tells me where the blacksmith is that can craft all of the ultimate weapons. And now I'm actually just running to the final checkpoint of the game. And when I get there, I'm going to do another save load and then do some more shopping. All right, so let's go ahead and get some stuff. We're going to get some weapons. This looks good. This is good stuff. This game has kind of a traveling merchant a la Resident Evil, oddly enough, which is kind of a funny little thing about this game. So, but yeah, you get to know him pretty well over the course of the game. And then I am going to be done with that, and we're going to go say hi to Tak again, and we should get those ultimate weapons crafted now, I think, as well. Ooh.
One day we'll take them. Probably not, though.
Yeah, and the ultimate weapons are truly a side quest in this game. You do not require them to actually finish the regular playthrough. So, you know, having not done the glitched version myself, when I first was watching Blaze play this, I got to sort of discover all these different areas I wasn't aware of. Oh, you can actually do that. Very cool.
Yeah, you don't get the ultimate weapons in the glitchless run because it takes too long. But when you can run through walls, time isn't really a concern anymore. So I did just pick up a Sacred Water. Ferric, do you want to kind of talk about what the Sacred Waters do?
Yeah, so Sacred Water is a very specific item there's certain points on the map where you will have a combat that will give you what's called a class emblem. I believe there's a class emblem for each character, so that would be 10 characters total in the game. Is that right?
It's something like that. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head.
And then basically what you can do is the class emblem can be equipped to any character. So you could, Rob, which is your archer, you could equip like a cleric class emblem to him or a warrior class emblem. And it basically does two things. It's going to give you stat ups based on the emblem. So like, a warrior emblem is going to give you increased attack and things like that. And then it's also going to give you some special abilities specific to that emblem. Again, for example, the warrior emblem is going to give you an AoE attack, which can be extremely useful. So the emblems do play a key role in giving your characters the abilities that they need to finish combats quickly and complete jobs.
Yeah, that was a very good explanation. And while you were doing that, I was gathering the rest of the crafting materials I needed, and now I'm kind of doing my upgrades that I need to actually finish the run. I'm going to upgrade those 2 ultimate weapons twice that I got for Rob and Killian, and then I'm upgrading all of the armor on my core characters once as well, just to give them a little more stat, because when we actually get to the end of the game, we will be very underleveled by the game standards. So anything I can do to... Whoops. Backed out of that one prompt too soon. There we go. Anything I can do to give my characters like extra hit points and defense and stuff is going to be very helpful. So,
yeah, and the upgrade system in this game is interesting. You can upgrade weapons and armor twice. You can also harvest crystals and do crystal fusions and set crystals into weapons for additional upgrades. I believe you use 1 crystal in this run. Is that correct?
Yep, just that ether killer crystal right there. So. But we haven't really fought anything in a while, and I'm getting a little bit bored that way. So I think we should maybe just go ahead and go finish these prologues. So there's going to be a lot of that, and finishing the prologues and the way that I'm doing them kind of serves 2 purposes in the run. The first thing is if I kind of go too out of order, I can actually mess up the ability to like keep certain characters in my party for the rest of the run because of the way the story triggers work and things like that. And then the other thing is just I need grimoire shards, and bosses are usually the drop those. It's kind of like the game's level up system. And then I use those to get new stats and abilities and things like that. So I need 8 of those total, I believe, is the number we figured out, Ferric.
Sounds right, yep. And then the way that skill ups work are you can either do pure stat skill ups using shards, or you can do ability skill ups, and then those abilities will gain points over the course of the game. So the order in which you choose them is important as well.
Yep. So that was a tutorial boss, which is kind of why that went super fast. And you can see I got a grimoire shard there. But it is also time. This is a very important time in the run. We are at the game's version of the Chrono Trigger Millennial Fair. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but you all donated to watch the turtle races, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now.
Number 2. Go number 2.
All right, I think Ferric wants number 2.
I'm picking 2.
4. Dibs on 4.
Kat wants 4. Ashton, what turtle would you like, 1 or 3?
I'm going to have to go with 3 on this one, I think.
Okay, so Anchor, that leaves you with turtle number 1. So here we go. Thank you again, everybody, for donating, and may the best turtle win. You are not ready for this, by the way.
All right, come on, 1.
It's got the good music.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, it's going to be 1. Yep. All right.
Yay!
I can't believe Turtle won. This is rigged.
First of all, thank you so much again for donating for that. This is my favorite minigame. There's a funny story behind it that the devs told me. By the way, if you ever, I will spoil this one little thing. If you talk to the turtles, you'll be able to figure out who's going to win, because it's always the one that is very, very enthusiastic. So,
Turtle!
Yep. Meanwhile, this is Victor, and this is a helpful attendant at the fair who is going to take all of our chips and let us buy a really cool item.
Nice glasses on her.
Yeah, yeah. They're almost like a little disguisey almost. So, but I'm about to do another glitch. Anchor, I'm probably going to need you to explain this one as well. This is to get the extra height here.
Yeah, so this is what we call the save, load, fly glitch. When you save, the state that you're in carries over to a load. So he loads into the game and he is flying. This goes for like swimming and some other things too. So this is like another form of out of bounds, since we can't really die here and teleport in the prologue.
Yeah, and you can't use the sky armor in the city, so that's the advantage of this particular glitch. The game actually has, like, by area, like, what forms of transportation you can do. So there are certain ones like the sewers, like the city, where you can't get into your sky armor, but we can quote unquote get into the sky armor in another save file, carry it over here, and then we're basically airborne, which is also just like hilarious visually in some of the cutscenes that we're going to see here in just a few seconds. So
it can also happen where you get on these boards that are kind of going in a clockwise motion, and Sienna can get stuck being in that motion for a long time.
Yeah, that is
kind of mess up the game too.
Yeah, you can actually soft lock if I'm running in a very specific way right now because I do not want that to happen. Yeah, but anyway, this is another tutorial boss. This is the Krachan, like a Kraken except Chan, because she has very pretty eyelashes. You'll notice Sienna is still floating there because she was my lead character for going into the battle. And that is a state that will persist on the lead character through these next couple sequences, as well as we kind of finish the prologue here. So this is Victor again. This is the game's equivalent of the Final Fantasy VI Imperial Banquet, which is pretty good. You do have rewards that you can get based on the answers that you give right here. For a little bit of added marathon safety, I'm going to go ahead and get the best item, which is the life thread. The life thread gives you a plus 15% chance to get a critical. It's not really needed, but it is a little bit of added safety. And also, it's pretty funny watching Victor talking to all the delegates and the very honorable party guests from like 10 feet off the ground. So. Also, I just want to point out one other like little funny story quirk that happens because of the way the glitches work in this particular run. So Sienna, when you're playing the game casually, Sienna steals a bunch of stuff while you're in town. And all of the guards are like looking for Sienna because of that. But in the glitched run, we didn't actually steal anything. We flew and went around it. So Sienna was innocent. I just have to say we have to clear Sienna's good name. So
Look, she took Victor's stuff.
That's true. She did rip off Victor, but Victor didn't seem to mind. So
He got a laugh out of it.
yeah, he absolutely did.
And the items Victor was perusing are like, oh, this is the best sword in the game and whatnot. It's very, very silly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. One of them's like the Genji armor or whatever. There's just some pretty funny stuff there. So I'm doing a quick menu here, and then I'm going to do my first round of skill ups. So this is the skill up system for this game. I have 3 stars right now, so that means I can learn 3 new abilities, and at various increments throughout the abilities, when you learn enough abilities, you get a stat bonus as well. So after some of them, you'll see some additional stat, but I do want to learn some specific abilities here, and then I'm going to go ahead and save, load, fly one more time. Actually, this isn't the last one, but this is my favorite one. Because we're in this tower, and I'm a recovering Final Fantasy VII player. I don't want to climb stairs, so we're just going to do this instead. Those save load flies in this particular area saved me from 3 different encounters, by the way. And then this is our first Ultra Move. Ferric, do you want to kind of just talk briefly about the Ultra Move system?
Yeah, I mean, not much to say about the Ultra Moves. You know, like most games, you have a bar that sort of fills up over time and allows you to do the one special move for each character. But before each boss fight, you start with a full bar, so you can choose which character's action you want to use for that. And, you know, there's a variety of different ones, damage, healing, different sorts of things like that.
Yep. We're going to use a couple different ones during the run. But now we're going to go ahead and get another character here who is hanging out in a different prologue almost. This is going to be Bathraz, and this will be my last save load fly of the run. It's going to get me up to a particular spot and keep me from having to go through a couple different cutscenes.
And we had to organize our party in a certain way so it doesn't delete a character.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. That is very important. When I was first learning this run, I was not careful enough with that. And the character we're about to get, unless you put specifically only one character in the top spot, because you're only supposed to have Sienna when you do this.
Which it's Sienna, it's showing Sienna's dialogue, but it's actually Lenny that's doing all the flying.
Yeah.
So
And
that's not confusing.
And interestingly
Oh,
enough,
and there's Sienna.
Yeah, it did put Sienna back in the party. So you can just tell we're kind of like
it's a little bit broken.
we're hurting the game physically at this point. So yeah, I'm sorry, game. I promise I still love you. This is actually the Sky Armor tutorial boss. So yeah, that's a lot of damage, but you know, it's okay. We do need to actually defeat this boss for another Grimoire Shard. And I am going to actually fight this straight up in the Sky Armor, kind of, except I'm going to use all the endgame Sky Armor gear. But I will have to re-enable the speed glitch after this. I'm also going to go ahead and equip Bathraz right now. That's fine for the moment. And we're going to do his first skill ups as well.
This game is a really cool system. If you fail a battle, you can always just retry it, and you can also retry it with menuing before that, so you can change up your party, formation, gear, anything you need to do.
Yeah, and the game will actually let you kind of like wander into a Sky Armor battle without the Sky Armor on, and at least in certain spots, and so it's kind of nice that lets you redo this. So, but yeah, we're only going to do a couple proper Sky Armor battles in this game, and I use that term very liberally. So yeah, but one shot because I have all the endgame Sky Armor gear pretty much. So yeah, we are cruising right along here, I would say.
Also worth mentioning a little bit there is the overdrive meter works very, very, very differently when you're in Sky Armor.
Yes, it kind of goes left and right, and the it's called drive or something. Ferric, do you remember?
For how it actually moves?
Yeah, like gears.
Yeah, there's gears. So the Sky Armor, part of the Sky Armor combat is the Sky Armors have 3 separate gears. There's a gear 1, 2, and 0, and those you can do different sorts of things in those gears. Like gear 2, you deal additional damage for additional tactical points. And then I think gear 0, which I almost never use, I think you heal or defend better. And the overdrive meter itself does move differently. That's correct. So that's something that you have to learn when you're learning the game.
And I just took a very quick, brief pit stop there to pick up a character named Bao. Bao will give me extra skill points. But now I'm like way too slow, and I feel like I'm moving through the mud. So we should probably go visit Tak again.
Thank you, Tak.
Thank you for your service,
Thank you for your service, Tak.
And I'm actually don't want to go out of bounds right now, but I do want to re-enable the speed glitch. So I'm gonna hit that. And then we're good here, but I do need to fix my formation. I guess it doesn't matter. I did a little bit of a reroute earlier today, so if I kind of stop and squint at the screen a little bit, it's probably because I'm trying to remember if I changed anything at this moment. So, but yeah, we have to do a little bit of random farming to fill up a chain of 8 different encounters on the reward board. Unfortunately, one of those is defeat Tak the Yak. So. Yeah, Tak, I'm sorry, buddy.
Thanks for all your help.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
We still love you, I promise.
Although we still do come back to him one more time.
We do.
Yeah, we're not done. And thankfully, when you fast travel, we'll actually abuse this more later too. It does kind of like give you a fresh reload. So hey everybody, Tak. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's fine.
It's more like he had a bad concussion or something like that.
Yeah, we just
from that huge ultra sword.
We just very briefly knocked him into the shadow
there
realm.
You go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't worry about that building we just Don Quixote'd.
Oh yeah, that was a mimic. It was actually it was gonna steal our lunch money otherwise.
Robin Killian just kind of floating in the back there.
Yeah, the visual nature of the glitches in this run is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the things that is probably the most endearing part to me about it. So.
Yeah, it can be a bit weird because they're not supposed to be able to pilot Sky Armor, so I don't think there was ever an animation for them to like, run in the sky, quote unquote. So.
Yeah. I am going to go get my first shrine right here. So this is the Warrior Shrine. The shrine battles are basically like kind of challenge fights. But again, we're like extremely overpowered for this. So not too much to say. It's going to be kind of like a blink and you miss it. But once we get these, they're basically like items. So I'm going to go ahead and equip the warrior emblem on Rob. Rob is going to get that one. And we're going to tag this fast travel crystal, which is very important. And we're going to pay a visit to the pig ears, pack of pig ears for the first time. They're also very important. Unfortunately, none of them were sparkle pigs this run, which is too bad. So.
And sparkle pigs are?
We will talk about that a little bit more later because I do
Gotcha.
have to do a bit of a grind. I'm going to quickly rearrange my gear here. So this is the part that I did want to update. So we're going to put the earth belt on Killian here. We're trying a new strat live that I came up with in the practice room earlier. So y'all are here for the... I did do it once in practice. It's not brand new, but this is something I just thought of while I was in the practice room. So, and actually it would probably be a really good time to talk about how elemental damage works. So, Ferric, do you kind of want to take that one if you're okay with it?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, in this game, elemental damage is basically a damage buff that you can stack on an enemy. So if you equip certain pieces of equipment, or if you, cast certain spells or do certain abilities, you're going to put certain statuses on your bosses and enemies. The statuses themselves don't do damage. For example, like heavy, it doesn't do damage itself, but then if you equip items that allow you to utilize those elements, the damage is going to get a multiplier. And generally, I believe that multiplier is 2x. So if you get multiple statuses on an enemy, then you're going to get 2x, 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 and you can start dealing massive damage really fast. The statuses do naturally fall off on their own. The bosses can remove them sometimes as well.
Yeah, that unfortunately did not stack the way I thought it was going to. So I'm trying to avoid these interruption animations. So it's okay. This is a very early game boss, so it's not like I'm in any danger here.
Yeah, I think Bethraz has what's called Draw Iron, which attaches heavy. If that's at level 1, I think it's only effective for 1 turn. So if your initiative cycle isn't correct, it will fall off before you actually get to attack with the character that can use it.
And I already know what I did. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Normally, when I learn Draw Iron, I level it up once, and I believe
Yeah.
I forgot to do that this time. So I'm going to go do that right now.
It's a little bit of a weird one because all the other ones I think start at level 2, but Draw Iron itself, which is the heavy attribute, starts at level 1. So generally you have to level it up once to make sure that it doesn't fall off before your characters get to use it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So, okay. Well, we're going to have another crack at that strat because I think it actually is pretty cool. So before I do that, I do need to grab my other sacred water here off the reward board.
I love how
as
the
well as
reward board
Grimoire
has
shard.
dots that just haven't even appeared yet. Like you've already completed them, they're not even on the reward board yet. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the game's like, you haven't even been to this area. What are you even
And yet
doing
you've already
right now?
finished it, yeah.
Pretty much. So, yeah, funny stuff. This is for the monk emblem. The monk emblem is going to go on Bethraz for a little bit of added marathon safety. It's going to give him plus 50% hit points as well as an ability that is really, really good in the final boss fight that we're going to do called Drunken Master. So he is all set there. And now we're actually going to do our last fight before the final boss, except for our grind. So, and this boss is a little bit visually intense. We don't need like a flashing light warning, but just for everybody who's watching, it is a little bit intense at the very beginning of the fight, so just a quick heads up there.
It's also kind of creepy. It's an angel on some sort of like beetle thing.
Yeah, very memorable, cool sprite though, I have to say.
This boss fight with the introduced.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit, unfortunately, Enker. Ooh, yeah, that actually worked.
That was
okay,
very
that's
good.
how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, that was
so.
very good.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish learning the rest of my abilities now because I have enough Grimoire shards to get the abilities that I actually need to finish the run, the kind of like important abilities for the last fight. And those are specifically going to be on Rob and Victor, so I'll talk about those in just a second when we get there. For everybody else, they're just going to kind of get some random stats and random abilities that are the most useful of the things that I can get at this point. So we're almost there. Rob is going to get a water attack ability, which is going to give, which is another elemental weakness, kind of like the earth damage that we were just doing with Killian and the earth belt. And then Victor is going to get an ability called Basso Profundo, which gives the dry status, which will interact favorably with that water elemental debuff. And he's also going to learn Shielding Mazurka, which is going to be kind of like my safety for the final fight. where it'll be like shields up, and I can not die, hopefully. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get my party the way I want here. I only want Bathraz and Killian in. And I need to get 150 SP from these pig ears. And what I'm looking for is sparkle pigs. So if you see a pig with some extra sparkles, they're going to give me some extra SP, which is really nice. But I'm going to probably be grinding for the next 3 minutes or so. So Ashen, if you have stuff to read, this is the perfect time.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of love coming in. We're going to go ahead and get started with $25 from Coder Wilson, who says, wish we could be there in person to cheer you on, but we have a 10-day-old baby keeping us busy. I wanted to name her E so we could speedrun the paperwork, but the wife said no. Good luck, Moon. You got this.
Oh, thanks, Coder. Congrats on the new arrival.
We've also got $25 from Old Man Jables. Says, hey, Moonblazewolf, super excited to catch your run, and greetings from the Axe of the Blood God Discord.
Yeah.
We're all rooting for a slick world record. No pressure.
Oh, gosh.
$25 from Quo the Raven, who says, you rock, Blaze. Shout out to the banging music of the turtle races. And we have $100 from Eddie, who says, hey, Moonblazewolf, best of luck on the speedrun. Thank you so much for always repping Chained Echoes. Turtle!
Turtle. So just really quick, that is, I believe, Eddie who composed all the music in the game. So thank you so much for all of your work. This, in addition to being an amazing RPG, this game has a fantastic soundtrack, so you should definitely check it out.
We are getting abysmal sparkle pig luck today.
I know, this is just brutal. Oh, there's one.
Hey.
I also just wanted to share a quick anecdote while I'm doing this, which is the mention of the Axe of the Blood God podcast. They're a fantastic independent RPG podcast, and they're actually how I found out about this game because one of the hosts of the podcast wrote about it for Destructoid. So thank you very much for introducing me to this fantastic game.
We do also have $10 from Tilarin, who says, good luck to Moonblazewolf on his Chained Echoes run. $30 from Kasumi Blue, who says, been waiting to see this run. Amazing at how consistently even, the game keeps you in an out-of-bounds state. And we have $20 from Hotbot, who says, go Blaze. Hope you, FerricKat, and Sfeel have a great run. Miss my old RPGLB friends and hope to be back for 2024. Speaking as one of those friends, Hotbot, we hope you'll be back too.
I love you, Hotbot. Hotbot is my brother, and Hotbot via RPG Limit Break is actually how I got into speedrunning. Because Hotbot was here at RPG Limit Break 2018, found Free Enterprise in the practice room and told me about it. And I wasn't even a streamer at that point, but FF4 is like my favorite childhood game, so I kind of got involved in randomizer community, speedrunning, and now I just like speedrunning has given me so much, and I'm very grateful for it. So, and it's all thanks to Hotbot and RPG Limit Break. So thank you. I'm about 2/3 of the way done, so we probably got another minute or so, Ashen.
Great. We do have a few here without a comment, including $10 from The Jaded Mew, $25 from Anonymous, and $50 from Dragonista. We also have $10 from Prometheus, who says, I'm a simple man. I see perlers, I donate. Thank you for that awesome event. And $10 from Windbliss, who says, Lufia 2 is perhaps one of the most interesting speedruns out there. You know what's even more interesting? The incredibly broken Any Percent run to see how secretly broken Lufia 2 really is. Cat Dragon says we should meet that incentive, right? Meow.
Agreed.
Speaking of, we do have some amazing bid incentives and bid wars happening. Of course, we talked about the next run, Dragon Quest Builders. You have the opportunity to choose which of the chapters are going to be run for that. We have, right now, Chapter 2 is in the lead, but there's still plenty of time to get donations in if you wanted to see either Chapter 1 or Chapter 3. There's also the bid war to name the builder in Dragon Quest Builders. Right now, Maribel is in the lead on that one with $75. And we also have the incentive to craft the Liar Slime of Immemorial, which will bring 8-bit music back into the run of Dragon Quest Builders. That is very close to being met, so let's go ahead and get some donations in for that as well.
All right, and I'm done grinding, so I'm just learning my last couple abilities here. I want to level up and make sure my most important abilities are at level 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and, again, just kind of get my party the way I want them. We are going to say hi to Tack one more time. Whoops, that is the wrong crystal. I'm so used to doing that from the grind, like muscle memory. I just went right back there, so.
And then we're going to complete the cartographer's tutorial, right?
Never. We will never know where we're going. It's very unfortunate, so. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit of a tricksy thing with this one as well, but I'm not going to explain it yet. But I am going to go into this menu before I do the warp. We will explain that in due time. But hey, I'm back here at the final checkpoint, and I want to get my party set up the way I want and equipped the way that I want. A couple last-minute checks here. So, Bathraz, you get nothing. You get the Earth Belt now. You get the Swift Sandals. You get armor, finally. Len's going to live, everyone. It's very exciting. And life thread on Killian. And, all right, we should be good. So let's go ahead and head into the final boss room. I'm going to run over here, because I don't want to do the first one. It's kind of annoying, and it's a really difficult Sky Armor fight. But we do have to defeat the final boss in this category. That is a requirement. So let's go ahead and get this on the road here with Phase 2, technically. Don't worry about the fact that Killian lost his shirt and is on the other side of the screen now. It's not important.
Don't worry about the fact there's characters there that we've never seen before.
Yeah, we have a bird and we have a girl with a dog. I'm sure they just kind of wandered into this particular cutscene.
Why not, right?
Killian will still be on my side when it matters. And then really, really cool boss sprite here, very reminiscent of the part of the Kefka Tower fight in Final Fantasy VI. So my main strategy here is going to be I'm going to debuff him with dry and heavy, and then load up Rob with a big, big boost of damage. And if I can do that twice, I should be able to take the boss down. The boss is going to try to get in my way, and will be a little bit more challenging than all of the fights I've done to this point. I'm going to go ahead and start with Glenn here to debuff all of the attack and defense. The Swift Sandals didn't proc, of course.
Right.
So my damage output is going to be a little bit mitigated, but we'll just kind of take this slow and steady and make sure we can get through it okay. So.
And the Swift Sandals are just an item that he got early on to try to set the initiative in a certain order to maximize damage, and that it doesn't always, there's RNG, it doesn't always happen.
Yep, 75% chance. Yeah. So, but those are some big numbers. They could be better, but it is what it is. And this is the one fight where I really have to kind of watch my overdrive meter as well. So I really do not want to end up in the red. That is a very easy way to have this fight go south in a hurry. So thankfully, Glenn has an ability that can reduce that if need be. And if I get any of the abilities in yellow, they will also reduce it when I use them in battle. So that is good. But I've got... Okay, I couldn't remember which one I used last turn, so I think...
You're doing good.
Bathraz did just get Death Staggered. That's not a huge deal, but Death Stagger is one of the things that can happen that's kind of nasty, so... but we are almost out of the woods here. Go ahead and get that buff off of him. And we're just going to try to push through the last damage here. These two parts have a little bit more hit points than the others. And there we go. That was the second phase of the final boss, and now we are on to the final phase of the final boss. This is an incredibly epic fight with, it's an RPG, so basically we're fighting God. I don't need to say more than that. Clearly some sort of interdimensional being. I don't want to fight this the way the game intends me to, so we're going to actually take an intentional death here. And Enker, you figured this out, so do you want to kind of explain what I'm going to do?
Yeah, so when you died, he on Tack the Yak last time, he saved the on foot and in Sky Armor for a reason. You don't want to get past that. If this fight, you're not supposed to have Sky Armor, but if you select in Sky Armor from keeping it in a place where you could do it, it allows you to bring the Sky Armor into that fight. So,
and I do need to just let everybody know time is going to come up very quickly. Yes. So I'll call it. It's going to be probably about 15 seconds.
And as tough as a god is, he's no match for Sky Armor, apparently. So
The funny thing
Yes.
about this is now is we actually do one-shot the boss in the glitchless category
Yeah,
too, but it
that's
is
true.
very, very different.
It's
so
very
here's
meticulous.
my attack, and oh, he crit. That's time.
Nice. All right, very good.
just to really pour it on there.
Yeah.
So, whack. Woo. All right, we got a 46-23.
great, yeah.
Very good run, very clean.
yeah,
So
that was very good.
we'll go ahead and we do have a bonus incentive still as well. So we still have another opportunity to see the credits. So I'm going to let the tech team know. Anytime you want to go to intermission, we can do that. I will need a second to get set up for the bonus incentive. And then we'll come back and do that for you all as well.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, we will be coming back to Chained Echoes and that bonus incentive in just a moment. In the meantime, I get to have your attention, and we're going to read off a couple more donations here. We have a $50 donation from Quiz, who says, do I need this game? Thanks for showing it off. I think the answer to that is yes. I feel like I need this game too. This looks amazing. And we have $75 from Some Diener as well. Thank you both so much. All right, we are here. Of course, we are RPG Limit Break 2023. We're coming to you from Salt Lake City, Utah. We are raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which was formed in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illnesses, and NAMI has maintained that focus to this day. Their work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, or advocacy. NAMI engages in federal advocacy and supports NAMI state organizations in their state-level advocacy efforts. And we are ready now to come back to Chained Echoes, so let's throw it back to moonblazewolf.
All right, we're back. You notice again, so for the main run, we did No CW, and for longtime RPG fans, you know CW stands for Credits Warp. So, of course, that means this game has a any % category with a Credits Warp. And thank you again very much for donating for this. We're going to go ahead and show it off today. The unrestricted part is because we're also going to allow ourselves to dip into some save files that we made beforehand. And essentially, that's going to be to enable the save load fly glitch earlier than we would otherwise be able to get it. So about the first minute or so of this run is going to look exactly like what I just did, but then it's going to deviate pretty quickly. So we can do another countdown from 5 if everybody's ready. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go again. All right. Got to get some more Chained Echoes, right? So we're going to go ahead and do those first 2 Sky Armor battles, kind of the same, and then, you'll see pretty quickly. It's going to be very different. And Kat, I don't even think you've seen this, have you?
I've never seen this run in my life. I'm very excited.
You are in for a treat. So we'll kind of get through these guys. There's only one thing that's a little bit different than what I did in the main run. I'll kind of explain when I get to it. It's the initial out of bounds that I do is a little bit different than the ones that I did in the No CW run. But other than that, it's a lot of the same concepts apply basically. So we're here on the beach. We're going to go ahead and get our party in a slightly more killable state. Sorry. We're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and save. I guess I can just save right here. And then we're going to load that save file I made earlier. Now, because I had to close and reload the game, I can't just immediately lift off. So we're going to have to go say hi to Tack again. Hi, Tack.
Hey.
Hey, missed.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Sorry about that. I'm very bad about the mouse in this game. Yeah, if
I
anybody
thought it was
noticed.
a feature.
Yeah,
I was into it.
yeah, mouse %. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do our save load fly. And I'm going to actually give it a second this time because if I go too fast, it can kind of, I just want to get through this. Okay, so now we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and load my other file. The height will carry over. And I'm not going to do the tutorial anymore. I'm just going to kind of float around over here. I love how the battle music still plays.
Yeah, that's great. I was just noticing that.
And I have the speed as well now. So Yeah, so this is kind of like the main advantage of the unrestricted is you get the faster running speed.
Yeah.
And you do get to get out of bounds sooner, so you get to do some of these other cool glitches. We're going to go ahead and do that again. Just enjoy the music, I guess. It's having its own time right now. I have to be very particular about how I cross this battlefield, so I'm going to queue up visual cue. Okay, good. And then I can't skip this cutscene, unfortunately, or the game will soft lock, so I'm going to let it play for a few seconds. Once Glenn kind of wanders over here, again, he's just kind of air swimming. I don't know what it is. Now I can go ahead and skip it. And it is going to drop me into that battle, except I'm going to lose this time. I might even be I had one run where I actually was like dead when it spawned in. It happened so fast. So, but now I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm on this screen again. I'm going to do a save and load, and that will bring my game back up. But you can kind of hear me running, and hey, we won the fight. We did it.
We did it.
All right, good job, team. Yeah, so you can do that, and yeah, you skip the fight.
He's kind of just saying we did it because we exploited the glitch. So
Yeah, we did it. We glitched. We air swam.
Yeah, we air swam.
So now I'm Len. I'm gonna go ahead and come down here. We're gonna go outside again, but I don't need to die to the pig ear this time to go out of bounds because I'm already able to save, load, fly. So we're gonna go ahead and say bye to Rob. Get rid of that. Do another save, load, fly here. And this is what I did on the dark screen before. So I'm running around this group of people right here. That's kind of like your natural block to get to this area when you're playing the game casually. And hey, I'm over here again. And we're going to unlock the fast travel again. Guess who we're going to go say hello to?
Is it our best friend Tak the Yak?
It's our best friend Tak. This is everybody. This is the last time you get to say hi to Tak.
I need like a giant
Hi, Tak.
Unless I screw
Tak.
up, but yeah, hopefully I won't.
I need a very large Tak plush.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, Tak for RPG Limit Break mascot 2024.
There you go.
And
Somebody
so now we're just going to go ahead and kind of run to the end of the game. So I did this kind of before, but I don't really care about like the collectibles or the chests or anything else now. So I'm trying to just go from point A to point B as quickly as I can. And yeah, well, we got about a minute of running. So Ashton, I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add while we're just kind of zooming around here.
I absolutely do. We do have a donation from Bahamut X for $50 that says, GG on your run, Blaze. Always fun watching your speed runs. And of course, I do want to remind everybody that our next run is the Dragon Quest Builders, where we do have the open bid war on which route is going to be run. So you'll want to get those bids in soon.
Yeah, that'll be a good. And then we got a lot of, I mean, it's RPG Limit Break. There's great games up and down the lineup. And something that Vonnie and Bob said during the pre-show, I was watching that, and something I've thought about a lot because RPG Limit Break really is very special and it's kind of like its own unique community. And I think a lot of it is just because these games mean so much to us as individuals. And I think part of why the partnership between RPG Limit Break and NAMI is so important is because these are the games that we turn to maybe when we need a little bit of a pick-me-up in our lives. And I know I have definitely done that myself. And these games are kind of like therapy, and RPG Limit Break as a whole entity is kind of like therapy. So this is such an amazing event, and I'm so honored to finally be able to do a run here. So thank you again very much for having me. And we are back to the final boss arena. And I'm going to go ahead and head over here this time, and I'm going to run this way, and time's coming up. Time. Is everyone all right?
I think we made it there.
Good.
All right, so
Lenny's just making sure.
Yeah.
Whoever these people are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I do want to give just a couple quick shout outs. I'm going to get it to the credits though to play because they're very beautiful credits and good music as well to go along with that while we're heading out. But again, I just want to thank the RPG Limit Break staff and volunteers. And this is my second RPG Limit Break in person, first as a runner, and it's such an incredible week. I truly hope if you are a part of this community and haven't had an opportunity to make it out to one of these events in person, you can figure out a way to make that happen in 2024 because it really is an event unlike any other. So thank you as well to my community, to the Chained Echoes community. Not mentioned so far, but also a big contributor to the route and the run is Kplogs. In addition to Enker, who found all the glitches, Kplogs and I were kind of the main routers of the category. And again, just thank you to Archiral, Deke, and everybody at Deck 13 who has been very supportive and welcoming of the speedrun community and gave us a home on the official Discord for Chained Echoes and has always listened and been very supportive of us. So really appreciate that as speedrunners when the developers are there to kind of have a relationship with us in a very positive way that is a two-way because then we get to do all this cool stuff together like raise money for NAMI. So thank you. I think that's good for me. Enker, do you have any shout outs?
Yes, production, and again, the staff. I threw a wrench last minute by not being able to be there in person, and they got me set up remotely really well here. I know it's a scramble, so kudos to them for putting that together so I could still be a part of this.
Agreed. Ferric?
Yeah, no shout outs, but just Chained Echoes is a super fun game. Pick your category, give it a shot. Very welcoming community, and I think you'd have a lot of fun.
Also, I'm going to give Ferric a quick shout out because he didn't mention it, but Ferric is also running his first game in RPG Limit Break on Friday, Wilder Myths. So please come back and check that out. It is also a fantastic run. And Kat is also running later, but also.
I just, I don't have a lot to say other than this is a really rad game and it's worth a casual play and a speed run if you're into that. Which you might be if you're watching this.
Absolutely. And we're looking for more runners, of course. And like I said, the glitchless category as well is fantastic. So if you don't feel like flying around or running through walls and stuff like that, you can certainly come join us for a really cool glitchless run. I think world record right now is about 325. So
right.
It's very reasonable as far as a glitchless speedrun goes. And it's a really cool route. So, but yeah, that's about it for me. We'll go ahead and send it back for the next run. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for helping make this happen. We appreciate it.
And thank you once again, moonblazewolf. That was an amazing run to watch. Folks, we are going to be heading into an ad break here. This is going to give us a little bit of time to get set up. It's also going to give you a little bit of time to get in on those bid wars for Dragon Quest builders. Again, you have the option to choose which route is going to be won. You have the option to name the builder. My name is Ashen Prime. I'll see you on the other side of this ad break. And welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2023. We are here. We are live in Salt Lake City, Utah. We are raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And I have some donations to read, including a correction. So we start with Sundiner, who says, whoops, forgot my comment on that first donation, so here's some more. Best of luck, Cowie, and shout out to Hack on Commentary. Yeti, best monster. We also have a $50 donation from Jericandra. Thank you so much for your donation. Every little bit goes towards a good cause, and we really appreciate it. I'd also like to point out and thank the people involved in our foreign language restreams. Our French restream can be found at twitch.tv/lefrenchrestream, and our Japanese stream at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. If those restreams can help you enjoy the marathon, go check them out and send them some love. RPG Limit Break is proud to once again partner with the Yeti to bring you 6 awesome t-shirts that are now available. Head over to theyeti.com/RPGLB. Take a look at the designs, pick up the ones you want, and know that $5 from every t-shirt purchased will be donated to NAMI. Remember, Yeti is spelled YETEE. Theyeti.com/RPGLB. I also want to show some love to our community artists, LLK, who designed the RPG Limit Break logo, and Megaweasel and It's Casa. 3 are responsible for some of the emotes that you will gain access to by subscribing to the channel. All revenue from subs and the ads we run will go to help us run future RPGLB marathons, but fret not, 100% of all donations go straight to NAMI. And of course, NAMI serve as the preeminent resource for people searching for life-changing guidance, information, and support as they navigate mental health conditions. Their website alone serves more than 12 million unique visitors annually. The National Alliance on Mental Illness's current work is informed by more than 40 years of inspiring conversation, support, and action that ultimately strengthens the fabric of communities and promotes opportunities to thrive for anyone touched by mental illness. NAMI draw on their past accomplishments, the wisdom of lived experience, and current scientific understanding of mental health to help those who are suffering. Alright, we're still deep in the middle of setup, but this does mean that you only have a few more moments to enter in the bid wars for Dragon Quest builders. You can bid both on which route they're going to run and also the name of the builder. I do want to announce also that we did meet the incentive to craft the Lyre of Slime in Memorial. This will help us bring back 8-bit music sometime into the run. And of course, we do have some amazing prizes available right now. Looking at our prizes available, currently you can get the Una Final Fantasy TCG card, which is a graded 10 card for a $10 minimum donation. Also at that $10 level is the Dragon Quest Laser Shoot picnic blanket. And of course, there is also for $5, we have a Chained Echoes Steam key. So if you were watching that previous run and thought that this is something that you need to have in your Steam library, you can enter a $5 minimum donation now to be entered to win that. There's also a copy of Final Fantasy X2 for the PlayStation 2 and the Yuna and Pain Perlers. All of those are at the $5 donation level. And of course, we do have our larger prizes as well for a cumulative minimum donation of $100. So anytime between now and does that get over? Now and the end of Exiled Wicked Phenomenon, if you have cumulatively donated $100 or more, you are entered to win the red 3DS with the capture card installed. And any cumulative donation over the entire marathon of $100 or more gets you entered to win the Steam Deck, the 256GB model. All right, we do have a few more donations who came in. We have the Game Room Revival, who donated $5, Blaze Mom, who donated $50, and an anonymous $25 donations. We thank you all for your donations to NAMI. As we're looking forward at our schedule here, of course, we're going into Dragon Quest Builders is our next run, being run by the Countess, with the exact route being decided by a bid war. After that, we will be going into Final Fantasy X2, an any percent race between D Sharper and Babam. And at the end of that run, we will be looking at Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, any percent looking for the good ending fast forward. Some of these category names in these RPGs are so evocative because they have to be so specific because there's so many interesting ways to break them. I do not know what fast forward means for Chrono Cross, and I'm excited to find out. Of course, there is another artist that deserves special thanks, and that is the one and only Oro, who worked on our overlays. They can be found on Twitter at OroLen.